Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you find this useful. But let's look at Bitcoin right now, because what's happening is Bitcoin actually broke its resistance that's been going on for the past couple of weeks. We found resistance here, 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 and here, and here, almost till we broke out. But like I said in my last video, if we break this level and we use it as support, then that is a good entry point for the beginning of this run. And what we saw actually was we did see this pump up right here, and we actually saw a retest of this previous resistance, which has been right here and here, as support. So that's a great thing. And I also said what I want to see is I want to see kind of some movement going on here, a little bit of consolidation before a big pump, because as we know, the weekends are a place where Bitcoin can get manipulated. So what we see here is we don't want to have a pump too early into the run, because like I said, usually weekends have lower volume, and if there's lower volume, then the price continuation is not going to hold and the price may not continue. And that's what we actually saw here. So we did see a good pump right here, a good amount of volume come in, which held this level, which held price target of Bitcoin in this area. And now it's actually consolidating, selling. We had a retest of the symmetrical triangle breakout that we drew here, and we had a retest of it to come back up and still hold support here as this previous resistance. So that is great to see. Bitcoin is still looking very bullish at this point. Well, we're still probably going to see in the next couple hours here is some consolidation up here until we make our next leg up when markets open. So what we want to see here is a retest of this previous high of 62,000, and then a continuation onward to our price target at still right around $76,000. So it's looking great. We're seeing an ascending triangle form here, and right now we're just playing in this area where there was previous resistance, now support, and between the all-time high. So between these two levels, all-time high and previous resistance. So it's looking good. We just need that next leg up here, some volume to come in, and then we want to see our big move here in the next couple weeks, next couple days to weeks actually, because next week is going to be a big week. We have that Coinbase IPO that I've been talking about for a couple videos now, and that's actually going to happen on Wednesday. So Wednesday is what to look out for. Bitcoin has to do well and perform well in order for the Coinbase IPO to do well. And so I think that we're going to see a lot of volatility and a lot of strength coming into this next week. So Bitcoin is looking really good right now. But let's jump into our miners. Bitcoin's looking good, so that means our miners are ready for a next leg up. So let's see here. For Mara right here, we still have this symmetrical triangle here. So what we had was we had a big move upwards. Then we had a retest right here of some local resistances, and also this resistance box, which I've been talking about. This resistance box right here has been crucial. Good areas for putting in shorts if you're trying to ride it down, or putting in longs if you're trying to ride the wave up. And we saw that right here. We saw some wicks to the upside here towards this resistance box, quick push down. Then we had a quick move back up to this box, another quick push down. So we know that this resistance box is important. It's crucial here. And we also have one down here. So we have a quick move down to this resistance box, kind of some bounces up, another quick move, and then another quick up to this new resistance box that we were forming at the time. So these boxes are great areas for you if you want to come in and you want to get a nice position from this retracement, from this big move up to the upside. Then that's a good place where you want to start getting in some positions, because we saw right here, this was a perfect opportunity to load in here on April 7th at $45. So, and we also know that's a good place because if we do our fib retracement, we can see a good area to put in as some potential longs. And we see here perfectly right here at the 0.382 level, we saw price dip down, make a couple wicks in here, but ultimately it held its position above this price, above this Fibonacci retracement level here at 0.382. Look at that, holding it down. Then we have a move upwards, kind of consolidating in between these two ranges of the 0.236 and the 0.382. So if you were to put a long here, you would want to put a long here at the 0.382, maybe have a stop loss here below the 50, but also we have this resistance box here as major support. So we have the support of the Fibonacci retracement level at 0.382 and this resistance box. So now what is the next move for Mara? So if we look back at our symmetrical triangle breakout, we see that it's still at the price target at around $63. But for right now, we did see a nice potential bounce here on this 0.382, showing us that the trend is still strong and it's still going to continue. If it were to break down past the 0.5, right, going back down half of its run up, then that's when we can start thinking that the trend is changing and that it might be going to a bearish pattern. But for right now, it's still held this 0.382 retracement level. So that's very good to see. Now it's kind of forming this symmetrical triangle right here. So the symmetrical triangle breakout would be right around here at $57, back to where it was previously a couple days ago. Now, if I get rid of this, now let's use our fib extension tool. And then let's figure out where our price target could be, because we want a lot of these extension tools to line up to this $64 price target. And we see our 1.272 fib extension level at the 64 price target as well. So looking like $64 is our next leg up in the next couple of days to this week. Hopefully we see this trend continue for Bitcoin. Remember, if Bitcoin's starting to pull back, that is the time to assess your opportunity to get out of your position for these Bitcoin miners, because we're going to see a swift drop as soon as Bitcoin drops. So be on the lookout of that. These Bitcoin mining stocks are very volatile. So just make sure you have your stop losses. You know when you're exiting. You know when to take profit, okay? Next thing, let's move on to RIOT. RIOT here is also looking great. Still hasn't broken out of its symmetrical triangle that I've been talking about for the last couple of days now, but it is forming a nice one. And so if we looked at our fib retracement tool, we're seeing a lot of bouncing off of this golden pocket here in these yellow lines from the 0.65 to the 0.618. So seeing a lot of movement upwards, downwards, up into the golden pocket, still rejected. Coming by, finding support here on this ascending support, going back up, finding resistance here at this downward sloping resistance. And now we're just wavering in the middle. Since Bitcoin is pumping, and if it can hold this pump to Monday open, we definitely can see a breakout coming in for RIOT. And it's going to be a big one because this symmetrical triangle is huge. It's from the highs up almost $80 down here to the low of $32. We're going to see a huge move. And the price target for this breakout is at the $100 mark. So it is looking very good. And also for our fib retracement too, it is at the 1.618 is $107. So around the $100 mark, maybe 99, 98 to play it safe. But RIOT is also looking great. Still not a lot of volume. We have this descending volume pattern here, which is what we want to see with these big patterns. And we have our RSI that's right in the middle. It is looking very good to run up right now. Let's check the daily. Daily is looking good too. Why don't we look at our EMA ribbon? Still, it's kind of breaking down from the support line, but it's still looking good. Maybe in the 4 hour, let's take a look at not really much info here. So on the 6 hour, we can see here there is just some slight resistance here, right, while it's consolidating. That's where we're finding some of this price rejection, but still hovering towards the middle of this symmetrical triangle. Any day now, starting Monday, we will see a break either to the upside or to the downside. But since Bitcoin is looking very strong, there's a big week for crypto. The market cap for crypto is almost at $2 trillion. It just touched it recently. So once we break that crypto market local top of $2 trillion, then we will see all these miners go up. So very exciting. RIOT looking like it's going to break out. And remember, maybe some slight resistance here at the $62 mark, because this is where the golden pocket is. But I feel like we might just come back up to this 0.78 and then use that as support for a further move up to that price target of $99. And last but not least, let's look at SOS. SOS is still looking like it's going to break out. Let's take a look at exactly why. What are the supports? Where are the resistances? And as you can see, I drew my fib retracement from the local top of $15.88 right down here to our bottom at $4. And what's crazy about this chart is we can see the actual volume is increasing. So if we look at the daily, we can see two huge spikes right here in volume. So we have a bunch of buy volume right here and a bunch of buy volume right here. Yet the price did not move that much. Actually, we were going down in the downtrend till we had that huge spike and still kept going down. So that's when we know institutions are buying. Institutions are buying when you see huge, massive spikes right here compared to the volume over here where there was practically non-existent. But we saw a huge increase of volume over this run, and now we're starting to see another increase of volume again. So that is a very good sign to see. We know that these institutions, after shorting for so long and trying tirelessly to get the price down for SOS, they have now run out of steam. And so they saw a huge buy volume right here while the RSI is still in the middle. So it's still looking good. This is the daily chart, by the way. And it is looking like this resistance box also could be tested tomorrow. So we saw some resistance here, and we not only saw resistance in these two places, but also if you look down the chart, this resistance box goes pretty far back. We can see resistance coming here also, and right here we're using it as support for a moment. So this is a crucial point right here. Same thing for the same thing here for the top right here at $15.88. If we follow this same resistance box, we see it used as support right here, and also finally some support here till it broke down, and then again coming up here to this resistance box, pushing it all the way down to this level. So this level was very crucial. If you were looking at the charts, remember, always look towards the back too, because historical data is just as important, but it also depends if the company has changed. But sometimes the algorithm and then these trading bots, they don't know the difference. So let's not ignore that as well, because these two areas of resistance are looking pretty heavy. So what you want to look out for tomorrow is we want to see this EMA ribbon flip support yet again, because it did on the lower time frames, but still on the daily, it's still being pushed down right here as resistance. So the EMA ribbon is still being pushed down. It is not fanned out as much as I want it to be, because the wider the spread of this ribbon, the more valid it is as an indicator. So right now it's actually in indecision mode. It's not really fanned out, but you can still see some resistances here. Let's look at the Bollinger Bands. Also still kind of, they're starting to expand right now, especially because the buy volume is increasing. So final thoughts for SOS. We want to be completing this W pattern, because right now we're starting just to see the new uptrend right here breaking out of this triangle. We want to see a retest of this $8.60 resistance box, because we know time and time again it has been used as huge resistance. And not just here, but also if we just zoom back, like we talked about, right here and right here as well, very important levels. Once we break that, I see another resistance level right here. But if we're breaking that $8 resistance box, we can continue our W pattern and move to the upside, continuing moving up here to our $11 mark. So it is starting to look really, really bullish for SOS, especially because Bitcoin is still holding up to that $59, $60 range. So once we get a confirmed breakout for Bitcoin, we see some volume on Bitcoin, we already saw volume here on SOS, then we can start looking at a huge long move towards the upside for SOS. Alright guys, that is it for this video. If you enjoyed my content, make sure to hit that like button. Check out my new altcoin video. I talk about 6 or 7 of my favorite alts right now. And if you haven't been exposed to altcoins, it is altcoin season. So if you're also thinking that you missed the boat on Bitcoin, you think it's too expensive right now, altcoins are your best bet for making high returns this crypto bull run. So check out my video, and I will see you next time. Peace.